Our story begins long ago. In the mists of ancient times, humanity was young. The world was a vast, untamed wilderness. Survival was a daily struggle, a constant dance with the forces of nature. To eat, our ancestors labored. They hunted fleet-footed animals across sweeping plains. They gathered berries, roots and nuts from the forest's bounty. Every sunrise brought the renewed necessity of physical toil. This was not a choice, but a fundamental truth of existence. The energy expended was directly linked to the sustenance gained, a raw and immediate connection that shaped early human societies and their understanding of the world around them. Then came a profound shift. Humans learned to cultivate the land. They discovered the secrets of seeds, the patience of planting, the joy of harvest. Farming emerged, a revolutionary act. Communities settled, no longer solely nomadic. Fields were tilled under the hot sun. Water was carried, often over long distances. This agricultural life, while offering a measure of stability, remained incredibly demanding. The rhythm of the seasons dictated the rhythm of work. Failure to sow or reap meant hardship, even starvation. The connection between physical labor and survival was etched deeply into the earth itself, a testament to human ingenuity and unceasing effort. Alongside the farmer, other vital roles emerged. The blacksmith, a master of fire and metal. With sweat and skill they forged tools from raw ore, tools for farming, tools for building, tools for defense. The clang of the hammer on the anvil was a sound of creation, of transformation. Each strike was a testament to human strength and ingenuity. Artisans crafted pottery, wove cloth and built shelters. These skills were passed down through generations. Labor was not merely muscle, it was also knowledge, tradition, and the very fabric of these early communities, binding them together through shared purpose and mutual reliance. For countless centuries, this was the human condition. Work was inextricably linked to life itself. There was little separation between the two. One labored to live, and life was largely defined by that labor. The physical demands were immense. The hours were long, dictated by daylight and the urgent needs of the community. This was a world where the strength of one's back and the skill of one's hands were paramount. It was a foundation built on tireless effort, a legacy of perseverance that carried humanity forward, step by painstaking step, into the unfolding future that awaited. As civilizations grew, so too did the complexity of labor. The medieval period saw the rise of towns and cities. Guilds formed, organizing artisans and craftsmen. Stonemasons built soaring cathedrals, their labor a testament to faith and skill. Serfs toiled on feudal lands, their lives bound to the soil and the lord of the manor. While new structures emerged, the fundamental truth remained. Work was essential, often arduous, and largely defined one's place in society. The connection between physical output and societal contribution was clear, shaping hierarchies and daily routines for millions across the globe, a continuation of ancient patterns in new forms. The pace of change began to quicken. Centuries later, the Industrial Revolution arrived. It was a thunderous transformation. Steam power, new machines, factories belching smoke into the sky. Humanity harnessed forces previously unimaginable. Mass production became possible. People flocked from the countryside to burgeoning industrial towns. Labor shifted from fields and small workshops to vast, noisy factories. The nature of work changed dramatically. It became more regimented, synchronized to the relentless rhythm of machinery, a stark contrast to the agricultural cycles that had dominated for so long. The 20th century witnessed further evolution. The rise of the office, the service industry and new technologies. Typewriters clattered, telephones rang. Mental labor gained increasing prominence, though physical work remained vital in countless sectors. The assembly line, perfected and expanded, churned out goods at an unprecedented rate. Society became more interconnected, more reliant on complex systems of production and distribution. The working week, the concept of a career, these became solidified aspects of modern life. Yet, Underlying it all was the persistent notion that work was a primary obligation, a means to an end. Through all these transformations, from the farmer's field to the medieval guild, from the cacophony of the factory floor to the hum of the modern office, the core link between labor and sustenance, or reward, persisted. Technology reshaped the tools and the tasks, but the fundamental paradigm held firm. One worked to earn a living, to provide, to build a life. The methods changed, the environments transformed, but the essential contract of exchanging time and effort for the means to survive and thrive remained a cornerstone of human existence, driving innovation and societal development. Then, something truly remarkable began to unfold. A new kind of intelligence, not born of flesh and blood, but of silicon and code. Artificial intelligence, AI. Machines that could learn, machines that could reason, analyze, and perform tasks once thought exclusively human. This was not merely another tool like the plow or the steam engine. This was different. It was the dawn of automated intellect, a force with the potential to redefine the very nature of work and human contribution, challenging long-held assumptions about our role in the world. Slowly at first, then with gathering speed, AI started to integrate into our world. It began to take on complex tasks, analyzing vast data sets, identifying patterns invisible to the human eye, driving vehicles, diagnosing illnesses, composing music, writing code. Tasks that required not just rote memorization, but a semblance of understanding, of problem solving. The boundaries of what machines could do began to blur. The traditional domains of human labor, both physical and intellectual, were being encroached upon by this burgeoning non-biological intelligence, heralding a significant shift. This marked a profound decoupling. For millennia, intelligence and labor were intrinsically linked to biological beings, primarily humans. To have intelligent work done, you needed a human mind. To have complex tasks performed, you needed human hands or human intellect guiding machines. AI began to sever this ancient bond. Intelligence could now exist and operate independently of a human host. Labor in its myriad forms could be performed by non-conscious entities. This was a fundamental alteration in the landscape of work, more radical than any previous industrial or technological revolution. The old equation started to crumble. Work for survival, work as the primary means of resource distribution. These deeply ingrained concepts began to face an existential challenge. If machines could perform an ever-increasing share of the necessary labor, what then for humanity? A new possibility flickered on the horizon, a future where the relentless obligation to toil might fade, where human effort could be redirected, reimagined. This was not just about efficiency, it was about the potential for a fundamental change in the human experience itself, opening doors to unforeseen futures. Imagine a society, a world where the daily grind, the compulsory toil for sustenance, is a relic of the past. This is the vision of an Isokairotic society. Isokairotic, a beautiful word. It means working when the time feels right, not when the clock dictates or when economic necessity commands, but when inspiration flows freely, when a genuine passion ignites the desire to create, to contribute, to engage. It signifies a profound shift from obligation to volition, from externally imposed demands to internally driven purpose, a liberation of human energy and creativity. In such a society, the link between work and survival is intentionally severed by the sheer abundance provided by advanced AI and automation. The fruits of automated labor are distributed equitably, ensuring that everyone's basic needs are met. Shelter, food, healthcare, education, these become fundamental rights, not rewards for toil. The fear of destitution, which has driven so much human activity for so long, simply evaporates. This foundational security allows human potential to blossom in ways previously constrained by the constant pressure of making a living. fostering an environment of exploration and self-discovery. What would people do? They would learn, driven by curiosity, not by the need for a qualification that leads to a specific job. They would mentor, sharing wisdom and experience freely. They would create art, music, scientific theories, community projects, all pursued for the intrinsic joy and fulfillment they bring. Innovation would flourish, not from market pressures, but from the pure desire to explore and improve the human condition. The energy once consumed by repetitive or unwanted labor would be channeled into pursuits that enrich the soul and benefit society as a whole. This is not a vision of idleness, it is a vision of a different kind of activity, a harmonious society where individuals are free to pursue their passions, to develop their talents, to contribute in ways that are meaningful to them, without the constraints of time clocks or the fear of unemployment. Humanity, liberated from the yoke of forced labor, could finally focus on what truly matters: connection, understanding, growth, and the collective pursuit of a richer, more fulfilling existence. A future where work is an act of love, an expression of our truest selves.